I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer, and happy 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America.
Yeah.
Well, we've got plenty of fun shit to talk about today, so I'm going to kick it over to you, Jimmer.
Yeah. Well, first one, I got to tell you, bad combos. Now, when you decide to have July 3rd drinks and go a little hard, throughout the whole night. Yeah, I didn't feel too bad going to bed, but usually I'm a person that needs, once he gets up at some point after drinking the night before, I need to get some sort of food in the old gut to, soak up all the booze, alcohol, shit sitting there. Go to Casey's before I come here. I grab one of their cheap burgers and a tenderloin. Don't know which one I'm really wanting. And then I have a Monster, or I have a Reign in my vehicle, which is orange cream. So I put it on the chill, on the AC unit on the top. So it tries to cool the can down, which it does fine. But I eat the burger first because usually I'm a burger guy. And then I've been having a little bit of harder, this feeling like he'd taste what I drank yesterday. So burger, taste what I ate yesterday, and then I tried to swallow that down with this orange cream Reign, and it's not a very good combination. In fact, the tenderloin is still just sitting in the vehicle. I was like, I don't feel like eating. I didn't get too hammered either. Just all this stuff isn't sitting well.
Well, you mixed a lot of weird shit together.
I did. I went Golden Light, started off, then some peach Leinenkugel, then some 2 different cut waters. Tried 2 different cans. I didn't go a bunch of them, but 2 different flavors, and then back to the peach beer. Ugh.
Nope.
Now, I'm going to take a little... This is what I do, and then I take a little break from drinking for a while. But, Cavaliers and Darius Garland agree to a 5-year rookie extension worth up to $231 million, gentlemen. Which is the max a rookie can get, because that's also Zion's number came out, and that is that he agreed to a 5-year max rookie extension of $231 million.
Yeah.
We had a conversation the other night about, is Zion worth it? Or would you do it? Not that he's worth it, because if he's healthy, I think we all agree he's worth it. Would you take Darius over him for the same money right now?
Over him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm fine with the money, I suppose. You got to pay to keep the young core.
Mm-hmm.
That is
tough over him, yeah. I mean, luckily they're not in that situation, so.
No. I'm just saying, would you do it, though?
For the sake of health and everything, it'd be tempting. Yeah. I don't know if I would, though. I think I would pay that to Darius versus Zion just because of the risk. So maybe that's me saying I would take him, I guess. Yeah.
But you'd want probably Zion on your team more than Darius.
Right.
Just not the money. I got you. Houston starter Framber Valdez and 3 relievers tied the major league record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game with 20.
Ooh.
Damn.
You don't hear about that much anymore, man.
No.
It's not like the Randy Johnson days where he was doing that shit weekly.
Well, just not that long ago, they had 3 pitchers do an immaculate inning, right? 2 pitchers maybe. So
Is that what it was? Yeah. Because what was that for anybody else listening? What's immaculate inning?
It's you get the outs in 9 pitches. You strike out the side 9 pitches.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all kinds of weird shit going on in a positive way, right?
Big time.
So I was gonna bring up the genie thing, but I don't really like blah, don't care. But in that, I did see that. Did you see the U.S. Open taking a shot at Drew Lock, of all people?
Yeah.
He said, "Not a sport," says the person about to watch 17 games of Drew Lock at quarterback.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I saw something come across that said he came back and responded to that, though.
He did. So that's what his is right here. And I don't know exactly what it means yet, but he said, "Happy 4th to all, but especially to the intern at the U.S. Open. American flag, laugh, heart, 12s." I think it's talking about like the
person that sent the tweet in the first place.
and then the 12s in general. I'm like, wow.
That's hilarious.
Because I guess it started with a Seahawk fan for life or whatever. Took a shot like at the U.S. Open, calling it not a sport or something like that. And it was talking, and then they posted a picture. I don't know if you guys saw it. Posted a picture of the quarterback, the starting quarterbacks, and number 33 is Geno Smith. Number 40 is Drew Lock. So that's kind of what looks like where it started.
Man.
We got some cross-sport shit talking going on. Especially when it comes to the U.S. Open. Come on.
Right. Weird combo.
Oh, at least they went after like a Drew Lock. It isn't like they were going after, possibly the best quarterback in the league and Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, yeah. For sure. MVP season.
MVP, baby.
This is a stage that you get to. I love it. It's the Vikings fans are all full of hope all of a sudden. Right? They're shouting out 4 stringers going, "Yeah, these are saving grace." And everybody's like, "Who the fuck is that?"
They'll get to
Until
know.
they start playing the games.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. And then
We just live
injuries
life
happen.
on this roller coaster, and it's the same roller coaster every time. We don't even get to change rides. The same shit every year.
Funny thing about it, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, God, we get beat up a lot for what we do. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, the reason why us Vikings fans do this, you do realize that we are the longest tenured team in the NFL to not get a Super Bowl victory. So we're due. We're going by the analytics here. We're due every year, right? It could be.
It's gotta happen.
It's gotta happen just by process of. I was thinking. I'm like, hey, that's the reason why we're going for it. It has no other logical reason other than we're just mathematically due.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, ball's got to bounce the right way one time, right? Ravens' Jalen Ferguson died from a combined effects of fentanyl and cocaine.
Yeah.
Bad deal, man.
It's a shame.
Fentanyl is like the leading cause of death for people like 25 to 40, something like that, in the U.S. It's gotten really, really bad. Yeah.
Jesus. Stop using drugs.
Don't smoke crack.
The water boy.
We need to bring back Dare.
That brings me back. Oh, that brings me to another. Isn't that how he said? That brings me to another important point. Don't smoke crack.
That's right, baby.
Pac-12 to explore all expansion options after UCLA and USC announce their exit to the Big Ten in 2024, including looks at the Big 12 and ACC. Where are we thinking they go? Not. Do they grab some? Do they do a combo effort here? Because they got to do something, right?
Yeah, Rio brought up the ACC the other day, and I think that would make sense if it wasn't for the sake of they're literally named after the oceans where they reside, right? So it's East Coast, West Coast. That would be tough. So just for the sake of that, Big 12 makes the most sense. But I think for competitiveness, if they were to figure out the ACC. I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I think they try to grab some people first. Try to appeal to some of the independents. Obviously, maybe grab some other schools. Oregon's gonna be the one that, and maybe Utah. I guess I don't know how their roster is looking. They had a heck of a season last year, but Oregon definitely hurts because they're probably the one that's mostly in title contention every year, or at least has a good team. So for their sake, I mean, you've got to grab some of those heavy hitters that are out there just floating around. Notre Dame already kind of dabbles in the ACC, so they're probably out. BYU maybe, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, I agree. Combining the Big 12 makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If they go that route.
I don't know what there is for independents left, especially with Notre Dame basically all but saying we're going to stay with what we're doing, except for basketball. They basically do a ACC and Big Ten schedule.
Yeah.
Right? Because BYU's already jumping ship, right? They're on to which I can't remember which conference they are. Are they the ones that went to
Big 12, right? Were they
Big
going
12,
Big
weren't
12?
they? I think so. I think they're the ones going to Big 12.
Okay.
And then you have Army, Liberty, New Mexico State, UMass, and UConn. So I don't know if that's exactly the option either.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, to me, I heard an interesting one. To me, I think you should probably combo up at this point. If they want to stay in the talk, because it is becoming a SEC Big Ten realm world that we live in. Big 12 trying to hang on. They brought some interesting pieces in that we'll see.
Yeah, that's the Cincy, UCF, Houston, and BYU. They all join the Big 12 next year.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's not much for scraping. So it's either join up with one. I don't know if you're going to be able to pull any of them.
that's the problem, right? The schools that are left, besides like a Notre Dame, aren't like big revenue schools that are really going to help you stay afloat.
Maybe
unless you got like all of them.
Maybe, yeah. Or like a Oklahoma State is still there, but I don't know. I think they like the thought of being the big dog in that. Otherwise, I think they would have explored it already, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. Like money talks, but an interesting thing is exactly how, like, for instance, the Big 12 was formed. It was the Southwest Conference and the Big 8 like took their best teams and then made the Big 12 out of it. What was that, early 90s or something, some shit like that? But I think they got to go. It just depends on whether you want to save fuel or not, save money or not. They need to combo up with either the Big 12 or the ACC. The ACC, yeah. You get both coasts and their revenue. You get it may help with your recruiting. The Big 12 is literally right there, a hell of a lot closer for you. Some of them already kind of spilled over geographically, but
yeah, and it's like you have to probably do a combo because I don't see the Pac-12 pulling any big schools because the Big 12 is, I don't know what, third in line, right? SEC, Big 10, Big 12, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it
Pac-12 is like
it might be the ACC.
down
It might be
now.
the ACC though, if you actually look at
okay,
because you
that
still have
could be fair, too.
Clemson,
They're
you still
up
have Florida State, you have some teams that are still
Miami and that, yeah.
or schools that are still pretty damn good up there, and the ones that are rebuilding that we haven't seen yet, like you just said, Miami.
Yeah, it could be ACC too.
It could be ACC as the
but
number
either way,
3.
Pac-12 is down,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
pulling one of those schools from one of those higher up conferences is going to be tough. But they have to do something because Oregon's not going to stay for long if it just stays the way it is.
There's rumblings. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's rumblings of Washington and Oregon already having this conversation about moving on.
Like together, go
Yep.
somewhere. Yep. Man.
That'd be the death of it, right? That'd be officially it, right? Because what do you have left after that? Arizona State,
Utah,
Stanford, Oregon State, Washington State.
Yep.
Yeah, not great schools.
Right. Nothing that makes you want to turn on Pac-12. I mean, they already had an issue when they had USC and UCLA, right? Because their games were so late and everything. You'd lose a lot of the Midwest viewership. You'd lose definitely the East Coast. You know, unless you were a diehard fan, but it's already gonna be hurting. I would try if I were them. I would actually probably think about the ACC. Money wise, it seems like it'd suck, but like try to do something like that because then you're gonna grab those viewers too. You're gonna go more of a time zone friendly for yourself, like across the nation, instead of those ones that start at like 10 o'clock at night, Central Standard Time.
Yeah, it is. You still get the time zone issue though. So if you've got a bunch of whatever it is, ACC fans, and they're playing West Coast all the time, it's what's a 3-hour difference from one side to the other.
Yeah.
So you've got that issue to fight a little bit.
But they'll get more exposure coming all the way over. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you'll get that, and then maybe you would start games a little bit earlier on that side, not worrying about that.
I think the only way to save them is if they join fully with one of those conferences, make a super conference. Okay. I think that's it, man.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement. It's just I don't think we know exactly which one they would do, but I think we all agree that it's got to be one of the two, right? It's got to be one of those two conferences. It depends on which way you feel it needs to work the best with you. Roy Williams and Jim Calhoun among 5 coaches headed to the College Basketball Hall of Fame.
Makes sense. 2 great coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. That I wasn't shocked when I seen that. I was like, I think my first reaction when I saw it come across on there was, they're not already in. Like, I don't know. I didn't think coaches had to wait. Because I don't know how long Roy's been gone now. Has
1 season, right?
Has it only been the 1 season?
Yeah, because this was that coach's first season.
But Calhoun has been gone from UConn for 5 years at least. I know he did this one little Division III basketball thing there for a minute. I can't remember the school, but he kind of rebounded them a little bit. But
maybe that's why, because he was still coaching.
It could be.
Yeah, even at a different level. So.
We haven't talked too much about him, but figured definitely should bring it up. The Stallions hold off the Stars in a thriller for the title with a 33-30 victory in the USFL's return after 40 years.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Evidently, there's a pick 6 that kind of sealed the deal on this.
Clutch, baby.
What's his name? I know I've reached out to the guy. I tried to. Something Perry. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I think it's like a linebacker or something like that. Return on a pick 6. So came back. They were one of the best teams all season. It was Birmingham and then the New Jersey Generals or whatever, but they got upset by the Stars in the first round. Boom, boom. We get that one under the belt.
Well, yeah.
Israel Adesanya outpoints Jared Cannonier to retain the UFC middleweight title. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah. Boring fight. Very boring.
Was it?
Just another, Izzy, I don't know which way to lean on this. He talked about, trying to beat Anderson Silva's, title defense record, but Anderson Silva always made it interesting, right? He always made it show dominating fashion.
Yeah.
Izzy doesn't dominate people; he just outpoints them. And you could also look at he's got great defense, but he doesn't do that much. It doesn't seem like offensively now that he's gained that belt. So
tried not to get knocked out, you think, or
I don't know
slip up like that.
I don't know if he's just being careful and determined I'm just going to outpoint the guy and just keep on cruising. So I don't know which way to lean on it, but not an entertaining fight. I mean, Cannonier had some moments, but ultimately just couldn't, bring enough to the party pretty much.
See, that's a problem with the person holding the title. Whoever you're fighting basically has to dominate you to get that title away from you, right?
Dominate
it can't
or
be a
finish
close
you,
or
yeah.
finish.
Yep.
It needs to be just flat. That way you have to prove yourself every time you get in there, and that'll make for more entertaining fights. I mean, because you can't have that stuff. Like Usman does that a lot too, where it's just not very exciting fights.
Jones
Jones did it a few
was
times.
notorious for kind of, especially the last 3 fights I watched of him.
Even
he would just stay back to make sure he didn't get whooped up. Like
even
he didn't
Rose,
catch
man.
one.
The
Huh?
last Rose
See,
fight,
but-
she thought
Yeah.
she could get away with it.
Like I said,
Playing defense and
the
stuff.
Jones one I get because he don't fight that often. Izzy, he said he's wanted to be active. He's been one of the most active champs ever.
Yeah.
And so for him to always come out and do this, it's weird to me. To come out, and just almost seem like they're coasting by.
Yep.
Because his one loss was what? He went up weight
He went up
class.
and fought
Yeah.
Jan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got beat,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it looks like more protecting of your record and belt. And
Yeah, I don't.
hey, Rose gave us all a lecture last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Then she
can't I do it?
apologized, though. Then
Did she?
apologized. Yeah.
Did she?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who's next for him. Paulo Costa is fighting Luke Rockhold. That could be a good one, potentially the winner.
Who was that?
Robert Whitaker's in there in the mix as well.
Who was the cat that knocked out? He had a big knockout.
Yeah, Piera. See, they'll probably do it because it'll sell tickets, but he's only 5-1
Oh,
in the
okay.
UFC.
Because I thought I saw Izzy say something about
Yeah,
it.
that's probably the next fight because there's no clear cut, and he's beat him twice in kickboxing before. So the storyline's there to do it. They got the history.
But he
He's
might
beat
not
him
deserve
twice. I mean, I guess it seems almost as wide open, right? He's beaten Whitaker a couple times. He's beaten Apollo. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like that division's kind of wide open. So, yeah, definitely, if they throw it in there, like I said, selling point.
Yeah.
They got the history. He's got the power. Oh, boy, I don't know. Sean Strickland stood right in front of him.
Right in front. Yeah. Just
One of
opened
you
the
guys
knockout
made a
was
beautiful
rough.
post. I don't know who the hell it was, but the Strickland one.
Yeah.
What was his quote?
He when he was asked in the interview, like, hey, what do you think about you're fighting this guy? Basically an interview, and he's like, he's nothing. All he's got is a knee and a left hook, and then he gets knocked out with his left hook. Just like, what the heck?
So just to call it out, though, the most entertaining thing about the Izzy fight was probably his entrance again. That Undertaker entrance.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Had to do something, I guess.
Well, he can't get the views with this fight.
Right.
Got to do something.
We'll keep with the UFC, gentlemen. Alexander Volkanovski beats Max Holloway by unanimous decision to retain his featherweight title at UFC
Yeah.
276.
Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Max
dude.
had nothing. Since the opening bell.
That isn't the same Holloway that we've been seeing the last few, right?
I don't think it's that. I think it's Volkanovski was so freaking good.
So good.
So
Machine.
I heard he come out in his interview at the end of the night and said, the first fight was whatever, and I beat him. The second one, it seemed right. Max was right there, and it was close. He's like, I think I was not on point because USADA woke him up in the middle of the night for him to take a test,
or blood
right? Well,
test?
he couldn't. So then he had to stay up, drink water till he could pee in the cup. And then he tried to go back to sleep, couldn't, so he took melatonin, tried to go back to sleep. And he's like, so everything was kind of thrown off. I was sluggish. He's like, so maybe that's why. And then to come out and just, he looked better, faster than I think I've ever seen him. It's crazy.
He looks so good. I
That-
saw. It looks like he's gonna go up to 55.
Yeah, there's
He probably should, right? There's no competition left.
I know Ortega, who he's already beat. That was probably one of his closest fights. Is fighting Yair Rodriguez, I believe. That'd be the next one, possibly. So, yeah, the only thing is 55 is there's a long list.
A lot of studs, dude.
A lot of killers in that
Yeah.
top 5, 6, 7. I mean, you can obviously sell the double champ, stance, but you got guys like Islam waiting there, who deserves the shot too. So, how do you work to slide him in,
Maybe you have him fight Islam
You won't have your champ not fight another champ. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no
when
reason.
you come up.
I think
Yeah,
Islam
I gotcha.
fights.
I got you. I
and
didn't
then
know.
he fights Islam if Islam wins.
Yeah, or I don't know how it works out just because there's that.
God, that would still rub you the wrong way is what he's getting at,
Yeah,
right?
there's
Like
just
if
a
you were
chunk.
if you were Islam, you would be getting rubbed the wrong way. Like you did everything you did to get up to here. I'm
Yeah.
ready. Let's do this.
That's what I said.
And then the next guy comes up and
Yeah,
right.
that's what I said. Islam fights him first, the champ, for the
fights
belt,
the champ first
and then
before.
he fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I know. I thought you meant the other way.
I don't know if there's not a perfect solution because, like you said, there's a lot of guys there
Yeah.
There's
that
a lot,
could
yeah.
fight. So
There's 6-7 guys there that are all kind of deserving of either the number one contender fight, if not the belt shot. So,
right.
yeah, it is. I mean, technically, the 55 belt is up for grabs, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Technically.
interesting.
Technically.
Yeah, technically.
Technically. Go back for a second. Who the fuck do they think they are waking somebody up in the middle of the night to do that? Like, you couldn't have done that either right away in the morning or afterwards.
Right.
Or before, like before you would do. I'm like, that is
right
rude.
away in the morning. Yeah.
Right. Like, what's going to change in literally that amount of time? Like whether it was before you went to bed or, hey, we're waking you up at 8 o'clock, not the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's horseshit. Not saying it probably would have helped because the machine, I'm telling you.
No,
You're
it's
sick.
It's crazy. It's
So
crazy. He
good,
started out at 170 too.
Volkanovski?
Mm-hmm.
He just looks so fucking...
Let's talk about your guy O'Malley and that bullshit fight.
What
by the
happened?
way.
What happened, my guy? What do you mean, my guy?
Eye poke.
What? What do you
Okay.
mean? Hey, wasn't it a no contest?
Right.
He felt like he won it. What are you talking
Of course he did. Of course he did.
about? He's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
In his eyes? Isn't that what he
An
said?
injury.
Yeah.
Injury, yeah.
Here's my favorite part of it though is Peter Yan tweeted after because he's been talking shit about Yan, which is it's a mistake. But he's like, all right, now that that's over, if you really got something to say, come sign the paperwork and we'll fight. He's like, I'll accept or challenge me and I'll accept or whatever. And he's like, if not, keep my name out of your mouth type deal. So
He would.
Peter Young, fuck him up.
destroy him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if O'Malley slips that? No, I'm with you. They've coddled him coming up, and like I said, I didn't get to see baseball all weekend, so I don't know how that looked or not. You guys would have to inform me on that one.
I didn't see the actual fight. I just saw the highlights after.
You
so.
know, I could see Pedro winning that first round. So, I think it was pretty close. He said he thought he was dominating the fight. I don't see it like that. I think it was pretty evenly matched. Honestly, there wasn't much going on.
I didn't say anybody dominated. I was being a
that's
smart.
what O'Malley said.
Oh, okay, I was say I was being a smart ass.
No,
what he was
O'Malley
saying.
came out and said that.
Yeah.
So I don't see it that way. I think it was pretty even. Going, but I do think that Pedro got away with a couple things and got out easy. There was a kick that he said was to the groin. They end up stopping it, giving him time. But you look at it, it was probably more closer to on the belt and actually hit a good spot and not in his nuts. So
he got away with one, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it may have hit the top of the cup, but I think it wasn't in the, it wasn't a low blow. I think it was a good shot.
Maybe it's cold.
They're right in on my belt line. And then the eye poke, obviously.
Tuck it right up here.
The eye poke. I don't know. So he said his right eye, and his fingers, touched his eye. It didn't look like it was horrible, like went in or whatever. I think it happened another time before that, so maybe it was a combo of all of it. But he was like grabbing the wrong eye. Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Then he had
I
the
didn't see
interview. He had the interview, and like the other eye was closed. I don't know. And then he had the interview out of the octagon, and the right eye was open, the left eye was closed. I don't know what the heck.
One of his coaches go up to him like, "Hey, brother, wrong eye."
Maybe it swelled up after the fact of the fight. I don't know, but they did come out and say that he had a scratch. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I thought it was pretty even. So, I mean, it does look. People are saying he was looking for an out. I don't see that because he wasn't like getting beat up, wasn't getting beat, but it does definitely look suspect to me, I guess, on that aspect. But as to the reason as why he'd do that, I don't know. I don't think he was getting beat. I think if anything, it was just split even at the time. It was stopped. So it was a boring fight. There wasn't much going on.
All right. You hate to see a no decision either way, man.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was a big fight for both of them. And O'Malley kind of hinted that he wouldn't care to run it back. He said, yeah, it probably makes sense, but, there's other people and other stuff, so I don't know.
All right.
Well, he's working his way up, baby.
Yeah, he's got to fight Peter Yan. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen.
This was the next step for him, though. I mean, I think
Yeah,
it was
I agree. It was better.
Good next step. Like, you beat this guy, you move yourself along, yeah, I don't know.
Like, legitimately versus, yep. And the last one I have, gentlemen, Donald Cerrone retires from MMA after loss at UFC 276. I don't love it anymore, he said. He's going to go make movies. Become a movie star.
I'll watch every one of his movies, by the way.
You definitely tell there's two. On the other side, Jim Miller become the most winning guy who has the most wins in the UFC with that fight. So congrats to him. Definitely tell those two 40-year-olds.
What is it, 36, 37?
No, they're over. It's 40, I think. First to 40.
Yeah, first to 40 wins UFC, or 40 fights in the UFC, something like that.
I thought he was. I must have looked at it wrong.
Yeah, it's good for him. He got kind of tagged with the head kick, and Donald slipped, and he jumped on the guillotine to finish him off. So, Cowboy, interesting. He did retire. He was talking like, I got 2 more. I want to fight him out, and then be done. And yeah, but it was always up in the air because he was kind of saying, the Conor fight, I didn't want to be in there, and this and that. So, good for him though. He'll be in the Hall of Fame for sure one day. Classic fights all around. Unfortunately, we do get to remember him in his last, 5 fights.
So you are right. 40 fights is how many Jim had, right? Yep. 24 wins is what he's at.
Jim Miller has 35 wins. I'm looking right at it. 35 and 16.
So the most fights in the UFC then.
It must be UFC numbers.
Fights, yeah. Maybe it's just UFC numbers, but his professional record is 35-16, and Donald is 36 and 17. They were like...
Yeah, because Cowboy has 23 wins in the UFC.
So how much? So say that again then.
24.
What was Jim's? How many UFC wins?
He must have 24 now.
Okay.
It
was literally those two that were. I got you. All
Yeah.
right. That's too bad that was a prelim one, but.
Yeah, so Miller has 40 fights, 16 submissions. Man.
I know you guys saw that sad ass meme, right?
The locker?
Woody from.
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, because he had the cowboy hat and the gloves in the center of the ring, or the octagon. Sorry, the octagon. And it said, "See you later, cowboy." I'm like, God damn it! Stop it! Stop it!
It's definitely sad, but I'm glad he's gone, man.
Yeah,
he
was just saying, it's like it hasn't been. That isn't what you want to remember your career from. Like anybody, especially if you started becoming an MMA and UFC fan the last 5 years, you don't know what he actually was doing prior to that. You just know him taking these and kind of looking like shit, to be honest. Mm-hmm. He had an amateur move, unless I'm mixing it up, but he had an amateur move. Can't remember who the hell he faced, but popped him in the nose, and then he blew his nose.
Yeah.
Who was that? It was. Not Holloway. Not that. Was it Ferguson? It was someone like that.
Okay. I don't remember that. I
Yeah,
remember the blowing the nose, but I don't remember who.
Yeah, he got messed up and then blew the nose, and
Blew his
eyes
nose.
swelled up.
Eyes swole up instantly. But I'm just saying stuff like that is what we're gonna remember. Remember that. We're gonna remember We're gonna remember obviously the. Oh boy, Jesus Christ! My mind is going blank. Connor, stuff like that, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, there was a fight. It probably had to be 6 years ago now, where it seemed like Cerrone was coming back up. He had this badass combination. It was six hit combo or something. So it was with strikes and kicks combined, and he ended up knocking this guy out. And I'm like, holy shit, he's got it back. And then kind of ever since then, it's been a tailspin on the way down. So.
Yeah, it was Tony. That was years ago to Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
19. Tony Ferguson, Donald, Dr. Stoppage, then he lost to Gagey, TKO. Then he lost to Connor, KO, TKO. Then he lost to Anthony Pettis by decision. So.
Yeah, just not. That isn't what you want to remember. I don't want to remember him like that, but that's kind of what it is right now. That's what.
6-fight losing streak and a no contest in between there.
Yeah. So I think was it the Anthony one where it was kind of even, wasn't it? I can't.
Yeah,
but
it was
regardless.
a decision. Yeah, it was a decision. Yeah.
So. Yes, sir. My weird law for you, gentlemen. In Albuquerque, New Mexico. By the
We
way,
love Albuquerque. Shout
There's-
out.
it is, by my definition, the butthole of America. Satan's butthole, because it's hot. It is illegal for cab drivers to reach out and pull potential customers into their cab. Now, I bring this up because you guys remember, right? The Vegas? Like the girls felt like they were getting kidnapped. We're going to the airport, leaving.
I don't remember.
Is that the time where we fit like 10 people in that little car? We fit like our whole crew in this little car with an old lady.
Oh, we did do that, yeah.
That different time though?
Different
Yeah,
time.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I went a few times, so maybe
Yeah.
I'm mixing up who all I went with. Last one, I'm pretty sure it was Mandy and them, though, that were.
Yeah, they took a cab. We took my special friend back, so. Yeah, I don't know. But it should be illegal.
Yeah, it definitely should be illegal.
Can't just pull somebody in. Like, hold on, looks like you need a ride there, sir.
Dude, I remember the first time I drove through Albuquerque. Like, it's the first time in my life I ever saw, like, a tumbleweed going across the road. I thought I was in a cartoon. I'm like, this shit's real? What the hell?
In the middle of town, too.
Yeah.
Not like in the open. Yeah.
It's bad, man.
We stayed in a hotel in New Mexico that was definitely sketchy. So we ate at a Mexican restaurant, steakhouse, whatever the fuck it was, right? Do you remember this at all? You remember you and your brother, we ate at a Mexican restaurant on the way down. We were going to try to drive straight through.
Oh, yeah.
And then we end up like, all right, we have nothing left in us. Everybody wants to pass out. So we stayed at a
Super 8.
Super 8.
Yeah.
The Super 8 wasn't disgusting, like high majority of them across the United States, but it wasn't that. It was the people that were kind of like parked out back, and there was definitely a rate pad, mattress in the back.
Yes.
There was, a kind of a sketchy, old school motorhome chilling back there. People I don't know, just and not very well lit. So we're like, all right, so if one of us, we may have to take like little baby naps, like each take a shift here, because it was kind of freaky.
Yeah, we started off with that idea, and then I think we ended up passing out.
Yeah, hard as shit. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're just
Fuck
going.
that place, man. My brother took the bus to come up here when he was up here a few weeks back. And I told him, he said he was in Albuquerque. I'm like, oh, the butthole of America. He was dying laughing. And he said that to somebody. And they're like, oh, my God, that's perfect. That's exactly what this shithole is.
It's exactly what it is.
So we're spreading the word. So
yeah,
that's good.
it's a shithole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hot that it's like dried shit.
It's awful, dude.
It is. And that's what I got, gentlemen.
Boom. Well, it's about that time, brother.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
It's time for Rios Randoms, brought to you by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Make sure you hit him up at 641-903-1720. He'll clean your gutters, mow your lawn, move snow. He does it all. First up, tonight, since it's 4th of July, anybody have any crazy fireworks stories?
Ooh. Yeah, so there was a kid up the road from my house growing up in Mason City, and they were doing all sorts of tricks. They were, they would have, like M80s or whatever. They'd hold them in their hand, and then they try to throw them before they blew up, stuff like that. They put it in their mouth and then did the same thing.
Oh,
and
that's
whatever.
stupid.
Well, so for whatever reason, they went down in risk factor. So they started off putting it in their mouth, they throw it, and everything was fine. But then they got to the hand, And this dude up the road from my dad's house blew fucking the shit out of his hand, so he only had like these 3 fingers left. He lost the 2 ends because they were fucking around. Yeah.
Nice.
Don't play with fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
There's got to be
Not
what?
like
There's
that.
probably one in every single, city that's at least 15,000 across America that somebody's gonna fuck up their hand, right?
Oh yeah.
I used to have some sadistic cousins. And I used to. They still are. I don't talk to a lot of them. So they live on a farm. I don't even know if I feel like telling the full thing. They just think sadistic and firecrackers, and there's animals on the farm.
Oh boy,
Yeah, they did some nasty shit.
they shoved one up a pig's butt.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah, it's fucked up.
that is very sadistic.
Yeah,
That's not even
that's
the
what I'm
right
saying.
word. I feel like we need to figure out a new word for that shit, man.
Yeah, no, tie it to I promise you, this is before, and like one of the cattle, and it wasn't even theirs. It isn't like they own the property. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like it was their farm. They were staying and living on a farmhouse that was owned by a farmer. That tends to happen quite often. Like they actually they rent it out to someone so that the property is staying, populated, so to speak. So the animals weren't theirs. They were whoever's farm. And this is before the Joe Dirt thing. They were tying him to the animals' fucking tails and
Damn, man.
yeah, fucked up.
Fucked up shit.
That is. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. I'll throw this in a field. I'll throw out a batch of hay or something. I've got a little pyro.
Yeah.
We always put that up, but you fuck with an animal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. It's not ours. I'm like, what? Oh. That makes sense.
No big deal.
Okay.
What do you got, Rio?
I think I told this one. Probably the craziest one was my dad and family bought tons of fireworks. I think it was over $10,000 in fireworks, and they took a trailer and set it out in the middle of our way backyard, and they put plyboards over the top, and then mounted the tubes where you're shooting from, and put the boxes all underneath. Right? They're like, once you grab one, close the box and put it in the tube and light it and send it off and whatnot. Make sure you close the tubes so no sparks jump in and, potentially set stuff off.
Oh boy.
So we're not shooting fireworks for about 10 minutes, right? And all of a sudden, my niece's husband leaves the box open. Lights went off, sparks jump, and all of a sudden stuff starts popping off in that box.
Oh.
And then it starts spreading, so they start shooting up, but they can't go anywhere, right? Because the wood starts catching on fire. Well, the fireworks, when they go off, they can't go anywhere. So they start coming out the sides at us.
Shit.
It's what I imagine being in war is like, because it started shooting at. Remember, I don't know if you haven't watched The Office, where Andy's like, the fire is shooting at us. That's exactly what it felt like. As the trailer was on fire, and they'd explode under there, and then they would take off, come out, and explode. And we were just like sitting in it, exploding fireworks and running for our lives. And so $10,000 up in fireworks. We had about 10 minutes of them. The rest went up in flames.
Very life-threatening.
Burned the trailer up and whatnot. We put some sprinklers on it that night before we went to bed because, it was obviously hot, a big black spot in the middle of the yard. And we were woke up at like midnight from some people driving down the road, or my sister. She was like, hey, the spot's on fire again. There was like a 10-foot flame.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was insane. So
was it worth it, Rio?
well, I didn't pay for it, so I don't know. It was pretty cool watching that shit just explode and then come out and shoot. I mean, that was kind of scary though.
Yeah.
When it started coming out and exploding
Right.
in the middle of us, and you're getting hit by shrapnel and stuff.
Oh my god.
I don't know how none of us escaped without anything, like, because I mean, we used to have all the family over, so I mean, we're talking 20 plus people, and it's just exploding in the middle of us.
Not one person got hurt.
Not one person got hurt.
That's
Hey.
impressive.
That is really crazy. Number 2 on Rios Randoms tonight, sticking with the 4th of July. Would you rather meet George Washington or Benjamin Franklin?
Oh, Benjamin Franklin. That's the inventions, and wasn't he kind of he was kind of a nasty motherfucker too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he had like some history. Didn't he get like syphilis or whatever it was? He got something, a STD from because he was like kind of shadoinking.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be with him doing the electricity part. I'm not holding the damn kite, but
You'll be fine.
You want to be with him when he's slinging that syphilis dick around?
Camera guy. I'm coming from the future, right? I'll bring a camera for him.
Oh, God.
This is the Zapruder film, baby.
Damn, this is a tough one. Yeah, Ben Franklin would be cool. I'm going with G-Dub, though. I think the father of our country, thank you very much, on this 4th of July. So that's where I'm going, George Washington. He's got to have some stories, man. Crazy battle stories and shit.
You haven't seen the one
over.
the one where he owned slaves? That one?
Yeah, everybody owned slaves back then. So pick your poison of the shitty people, right?
Yeah, they all were.
But
I know you guys have seen. I know I've talked to you about that. You've seen the movie. God damn it, Will Smith and the cowboy one.
Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West.
Yep.
And he's like, I can't blame you. Who wants to pick that damn cotton? I know you sure as hell don't want to. I get you. Like,
yeah, I think I'm going with George Washington. I think you'd hear some crazy stories for sure about him, going over slaying the Huns. The picture of him stand up in the boat, he's like, yeah, my balls was cold and shit. So I sat down real quick. I don't know. I think you'd get some cool stories out of him for sure.
Just imagine.
Father of the country.
Imagine going back. You're like, fuck yeah, I get to talk to Ben Franklin or George Washington. This is going to be cool, whatever. And then it turns out all the stories were bullshit, and they're like just bitches, right?
Or they're like just the biggest douchebags.
Yeah. Like George Washington had like somebody fight battles for him, and he just hung out. Or like, Ben Franklin didn't discover anything.
He's a virgin his whole life.
Didn't never get syphilis. He
caught
just
syphilis
cool.
He sat down on the toilet seat.
Right.
How disappointing.
Even if he got it from actually the act or the acts of doing that, he probably got it on behind. Like he was the electricity, this, that, and the other, and shit he invented. Come to find out, he actually stole those ideas from somebody, and then he lived off that tale. Yeah.
Yep.
And last tonight on Rios Randoms, would you rather get hit in the ribs by Mike Tyson or get hit by a Aroldis Chapman fastball?
Is there a spot we're getting hit with the fastball?
In the ribs too.
Same spot. Okay. Ooh, that would both suck.
Well,
Going fastball.
I don't know. Depends on what side, like what part of the ribs, like what side. I don't know. Oh.
See, here's my logic. Mike Tyson could for sure collapse my lungs, like 100%, right? Break ribs, multiple ribs, and everything. Baseball's it's going fast as fuck.
It's going over 100 though, and you're not trying to win, and you can't really move to.
Right.
You're taking it in the ribs.
I think with the punch, you can kind of try to roll with it a little bit and not get.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, it's still gonna hurt, but the fastball I think is gonna be there so fast.
It's gonna suck, dude. Yeah.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Like, I'd rather take Tyson's hit, and I say that reluctantly.
I'd probably have to take Tyson's hit because I think I could roll with it.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I kind of like tighten a little bit or something. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually tighten for 100 and 105 mile per hour fastball right in a particular spot. Like you don't even know where it's going to go until it's there. The fist, I can see him swinging, and it's coming this way. I can kind of brace for it. I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, when you try to tighten for the fastball, you're probably too late. It's already hit you.
It's already there, yeah. And you probably tightened the wrong area. You probably loosened up another area.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I have tonight for Rios Randoms.
Pretty damn good wave right there.
Well, Jimmer, I know you had another make sense that you had just written down.
Did I?
I think it was a play. So you were going to talk some Taco John's make sense. You said you had a bunch of those.
Okay. Which one did I do last then?
The green eye booger. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yep. That's right. The pus. The pus from the screw.
The pus.
So, if Danny, you have at least met my father. Kind of a big when he was around. He was definitely a big guy, tall, 6'4", strong. My boss just so happened to know him too, and this was at Taco John's, right? So I told you before, my boss liked to, he liked to hammer back some beers after work quite often. Now, if anything ever went wrong in the store, especially, that second shift or until closing, you're supposed to contact him. Rarely did anyone ever get a hold of him and I never really knew why. I didn't know, I'm like, why are you just calling? Let's get it figured out. Well, we had to call him in because the freezer, the lock on the freezer. Well, it's been so many years ago. I'm just trying to make sure. I think the lock on the freezer didn't work. We couldn't get it unlocked. So the freezer at the old store was actually outside. It wasn't inside the store. So I think the lock was stuck, couldn't get in there, and ran out of shit that you needed, potato lays or whatever the scenario, right? So they call him in, and they're acting like all. Everyone's like, shit, He comes in, and I find out why. He comes in just fucking pissed, irate, just fucking going off. You could smell the booze a mile away. He's yelling, screaming at everybody in the store, besides me. He walks by me. He's like, "Hey, evening, James." Because, like I said, he knew my dad, as in not in a good way. So I think he kind of, but then he continued with his yelling, ranting thing, right? So he's stomping to the back of the store. He's throwing his fit. Mind you, customers are there, and they can also hear on the headset too, by the way, because we are packed that night. He goes to the back. He's like, "What do you mean you can't get the damn lock going, blah, blah, blah." He gets the lock off, actually, pretty. But here's where the problem is. He got the lock off, and because of his, I don't know, maybe he's ridiculously super Hulk strong and pissed off. After he gets the lock off, I can't remember what he had to do. I think he ended up having to torch on the lock, which we've had to do at work. I think he had to do something like that. But he goes and, all pissed off, opens the freezer door that he rips off the hinges and can't get back on. Mind you, all of our food is in there.
Oh, dude.
Just at people were sitting there watching. I told you everyone could see and hear anyway, right? The drive-through is not covered up versus where the freezer is, so they're seeing this door getting ripped off. Literally, I can't remember. It's been that long. I can't remember what we did to try to brace it because we had to do something until they came the next day. Now, that was the most fucked up. I just want to tell you the part with the next day comes in and he obviously knows what he did. The owner is there. And like I said, he's been his number 2 or his number 1 for God knows how long, right? He pawned it off. He's like, "Yeah, they called me and it was locked and or the lock won't unlock. He's like, took everything I could. We had people just pounding down the door. They wanted food, and I was able to get the lock, but as soon as it must have been so frozen and so whatever. I open the door and the door falls off. I'm like,
oh shit.
I'm like, it was probably due to get rotted off, I'm sure. But that is not how you open the door, my man. That is not. It was you fucking, I don't even know how to explain. Like I said, it was superhuman type shit 'cause he was so pissed off, And so, woo, she's like, "Yeah, all I did was kindly open the door and it just fell off." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, so makes sense if you don't think about it.
Should have done what my boss did when I worked at Taco Casas in Texas. He put cameras everywhere.
Oh, there was, but they didn't have the angle of the freezer, where the camera was, because I don't know why he didn't have it pointed a little bit better. But he had them everywhere else. He had them in the office downstairs where they count the drawer, where it smelled awfully musty and shit. But yeah, kind of cameras like that. I think you told me the story where he was like, "What the hell was Chris doing down there counting?"
Yeah, he would literally. He must have been a lonely old man because he would watch and be like, "What the hell's going on?" And just. Yeah, he'd watch people putting out taco sauce. You had to put out 1 packet per item, and if you put more, he'd be on it and call.
Jesus.
Napkins. I think again the same. It was one per item. And if they asked for more, you could give them more. But I think it was like the same, another one per item or whatever, or half their items.
Dude, wouldn't that? Hold on,
it's crazy.
Wouldn't that piss you off? Like it's bad. I'm not talking about like them just giving you one sauce packet. But if you get that sauce packet, but then they're like, what you understand, like, can I get some more, please? Yeah. And then they give you one. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Do I have to ask this 7 more times to get the amount of taco sauce that I want?
Right. Yeah. Or even just one napkin. That never does the job, right?
No. Can't be. I always bundle them together. Like at least 2, right?
At least.
It's got to be at least 2 to wipe your face if it's got messy or whatnot. It's like grabbing one. One ply of toilet paper. You gonna be able to make that work?
No, no chance.
Apparently for my kid, he does.
He just catches it.
Dude, that's magic. That's magic. I like it. He knows how to save money. But moral of the story is, I don't know. Like, if you're a boss, you can get away with anything. Because I'm going to venture a guess if the story came back the other way. Strive for greatness.
Strive for greatness. I like it.
Yeah, strive for greatness. Because, even if you're at a fast food joint, work your way up to management and get away with what you want. Because if it were, like I said, if it were the normal worker and there was video or even a manager seeing you do that, probably get fired.
Yeah.
So, like, this is more than just the door. It was a temper tantrum. There was shit getting flung. Like, there was a burrito that was half made on there. That's seen the wall and onto the floor.
Hell yeah.
But then I'm pretty sure he was also saying, let's not waste that, too. He's like that type of guy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I guess if I eat that, please, for lunch.
Right.
Hungry.
James, you're okay. I'm like, how you fuckers?
No doubt. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
If you don't think about it. Wow. You got to love the TJ days, man.
Oh, yeah. Those are the innocent days. Those are the days that, I had no worries in the world. My only worry is trying to have some money.
Yeah, slow down with innocent.
I didn't say,
that word has never described you, Jimmy.
No, but make money to go be non-innocent. Yeah, is that what I was trying to aim for? Okay. I quit this job twice, okay? The same type of day. I'll give it to you for a second. I'm so tired of working there that I quit. I was like, you know what? I want to stay here at my buddy's house and play video games all day. And this whole work thing is getting in the way. And I didn't live with my dad because he kicked me out. Don't know why he really kicked me out, because I didn't come home one time until after 2, but I didn't get off work till 1. And he lived out in Clear Lake. I don't think he grasped the concept of math there, but regardless. So I didn't feel like going in, and that was on a Taco Tuesday. Which, if you know anything about Taco Tuesday, especially back in the day, that was their lunch is by far the busiest that they ever get, and it was packed. Worst day. You weren't allowed to take days off on Taco Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Like, some businesses have that where you're like, hey, this is the one day you can't take off. Maybe it's Black Friday or whatever for stores. Taco Tuesday, you're not allowed to. I quit that day. Hold on. A couple weeks later, when I didn't get a paycheck, that hurt. I like the money. I called back. I'm like, hey, can I get my job back? They were so desperate. They said, yeah. I was just kidding. I was like, can I get my job back? They're like, you know what? Absolutely. You still have your uniforms? I'm like, yeah. You can come in tonight. 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay. I did that for 2 weeks, and then I quit again on a Taco Tuesday.
Well played.
I can't remember if I ever applied there again, but I'm going to venture a guess that they probably want to hire me back. But even though they love me, I know like I said, the manager and then the owner liked me too. He's the one that you guys see the Whiplash commercials. Like, that's their mascot thing. The monkey. And they don't show it very often, but he's the one like that came up with the idea for the whole, because he's of their ad market on that. Oh. Speaking of which, T-Mobile, you see the commercial for Mason City?
No.
Yeah. World famous. I don't know if it's just because of streaming or whatnot, but it was even here in Mason City, Iowa, and it started like shooting like at Music Man Square. Of course, they show that dumb shit. But then they started taking like shots that you could see Mason City. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Famous. It's the little things, baby.
It's the little things. It's the little victories, right? You catch that, you just know that's kind of, we're in the vicinity of that area.
Yeah, not bad. About a half hour out, but Good times, man. Well, everybody out there, once again, happy 4th of July. Enjoy the day. Definitely stay safe. Don't do dumb shit with fireworks.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of stories on that. If you happen to find us out on the interwebs anywhere, the video or whatever the case is, make sure you subscribe, like, share, give us a rating, the whole 9. The podcast is available where, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere you could possibly get it. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube. Click, like, share. Click, like, share. Click, like, share.
100%. Hopefully you're enjoying the content out on YouTube. It's getting better and better by the day. And we love to tell a good story. If you've got any stories that you want to share, want to have us talk about on the podcast, go ahead and slide in
to our DMs. Hit us up with that story. We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We do as well. We can omit names or anything like that, but we'd love to tell your story. Get it out to all the folks.
Absolutely. And this time of year, if you go out, say you go swimming, you go to the lake, something like that. You ever been in a spot where you don't want to take your shirt off?
Well, me, definitely. But I also don't want Chris to either because he's looking awfully buff. And I may show the other side, and I don't want that. I don't want the tickle in the pickle.
Right. Rio's getting jacked. Well, how are you getting jacked, Rio?
I'm using Fitbod. Download Fitbod. It generates workouts, keeps track of workouts, shows you how to do new lifts. Once you do that, once you download it, you can use our code 3GIG for 25% off.
What? What percent?
25.
25%, baby.
Damn.
Saving a quarter of the money. Definitely check it out. Get your body fit with Fitbod this summer. But thanks again, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it.